What parts of China did you travel to?
We went to some places in the Southwest. At the time we went to China, there were only 12 cities that were allowed for foreign visitors. And I started in the Southwest because it was close to what I knew in Burma. So I started in Kunming and went to the places that were allowed, and then very quickly went to the places that were not allowed because they were the villages, which is where I wanted to be, to see these indigenous people. In China you had a population of mainly Han Chinese, and then you had about 56 other groups which were classified as tribes by the Chinese government. They had their own language, their own customs, and they were distinct, and they had very rigorous dressing rules, which when we went first in the early 80s, the government policy was that everyone should become Chinese. They should study Mandarin at school, they should drop their native languages, they should definitely drop their identifying clothes. So they were dressed like Chinese. But if I arrived by myself with no government people, I was often able to ferret out their native clothes, which were hidden away under the bed, and then begin looking at the embroideries and the dyeing and the way they constructed their own things, which was fascinating for me. But it was always a lot of give and take. So the villages weren't allowed for us to be present at, and so we often had to hike to them from the cities where we were allowed to sleep. So it was like that. Southwest, Northwest, Xinjiang, the Muslim areas. And again, there I felt very comfortable because it was like Afghanistan. There were Muslims, often the same people. And so it was the perimeter of China. And in fact, I've never been to Beijing. I never went to the industrialized East Coast. Didn't spend too much time in even in Guangdong.
Did you make it to Shanghai or Hong Kong?
Often Hong Kong was the point of entry, and in fact I became interested with Hainan Dao, which later became a special economic zone, but at that time was part of Guangdong.